Welcome back. I'm Pat, that Halloween movie collector. Today, I'm going to do a spoiler-free review of When Evil Lurks. Now, this is it's getting a lot of buzz in the world of horror, surprising horror film that out of Argentina, co-produced with Shudder, and it's actually streaming on Shudder right now. Now, there's a big buzz about this, how it's such a great film, and so I went and watched it. And this movie is fantastic. It's got everything you want in a horror movie. It's got possession. It's got some good gore. It's got some great jump scares. And it's just a very unsettling horror atmosphere. Basically tells the story of two brothers, Pedro and Jamie, who come across this a body, which is missing the upper part of it. And it leads them to a shack up nearby their property that is where three people live. There's an elderly woman and two sons. Now, the eldest son, Uriel, is possessed, or what they're calling a rotten. Now, the rotten is a person possessed by a demon inside them that is waiting to be born. So basically like a demon that's incubating inside a person. And sounds like a great theme, right? But there's certain things to killing this. You have to bring in what they call a cleaner. Now, the body they found turned out to be a cleaner that was killed before it got to that rotten. So you can't just shoot it. You can't. There's certain things. It's got to be done by a cleaner, because what happens is if you mess with it, it'll infect you and other people around you, causing havoc. Being like the nearby person to you can be possessed. And without giving away too much, because there's a lot of real good scares in here, a lot of good jump scares. It follows Pedro and Jamie as they're trying to get rid of the rotten. Of course, they come across one of the landowners who, basically, everything they're telling them that you're supposed to do to get rid of this rotten, he goes the other way, and it causes all this havoc, possessing a lot of people. So if you like possessed people, possessed animals, possessed children, this is the film for you, because it's got all that. It's got a real good surprise, dismal ending, without trying to spoil anything, because there is so much that goes on in this film that I could talk about, but I really don't want to, because it's still relatively new, and there's a big buzz about it. I'd rather people go see it for themselves. I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's why I want to do a quick spoiler-free review. It's got a lot, albeit it's obviously in Spanish. It's out of Argentina, so it's got subtitles, because it's not dubbed or anything like that. So you do have to watch the dialogue to really understand what's going on. I mean, the visuals are great. The way it looks at this small town that gets infested with this rotten, it looks so bleak, very dismal, very post-apocalyptic, the way it looks. And it's just a feeling of dread throughout this whole film. So I think if you're a hardcore fan of horror, and especially if you like foreign horror films, I'm a big fan of giallo films. I love all those Italian horror films. You're going to like this, because it basically gives almost like a modern flavor to the old style giallo films, with a much more heavy theme on possession. And this director, whose name's escaping me, also did another movie that's on Shudder called Terrified, which I did watch, but which I'll probably do a short spoiler-free review on too. Basically, it's almost like a Paranormal Activity type thing, where it's a film in that vein, and it's just got a lot of great stuff going on in that film too. But I'll probably do a separate video on that. So this director, Damian Rugna, hopefully I pronounced that correct, probably didn't, wrote and directed this. And I believe he wrote, and I know he directed Terrified, but I think he also wrote that too. So this guy is somebody to watch out for. I think with the success of this, it's gonna lead to some other films that he's gonna be doing. So, and maybe even an English language film, because it's getting a lot of buzz in the States. So I'm hoping it does. So for me, love this film. It's making a lot of people's horror movie of the year, and been watching a lot of horror this year. It's been a decent year for horror, and so far this is probably my favorite of the year. So I understand where they're all coming from. For once, the critics got it right. This is a damn good film. So go check it out. It's on Shudder. You'll be glad you did. I'm Pat, that Halloween movie collector. Probably be back with a review of Terrified, and maybe down the road I'll even do a spoiler-filled review of this. Waiting to do it probably would happen on that horror movie podcast with my buddies Joe and Brett, because I believe they've watched it. I'm not sure if they've watched it all the way through. And so far they're liking what they're seeing. So probably do a spoiler-free review on the podcast, or I'll just do a standalone video. But do me a favor, hit that like button. Helps people find this channel. Probably pump out a couple more short spoiler-free reviews for some other films I've been watching. I've been on a Tubi kick, watching a lot of 80s cheesy films, so I'm looking to put something together with that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Enter the 1031 subscriber giveaway. The link is in the description of this video, where you can win a signed Dr. Chalice figure from NECA. And there'll be some more stuff coming in the future. If you like horror, comedy, beer, Kiss, all sorts of shit, this channel has it. So I hope you'll come back. And until then, go see When Evil Lurks, and I'll talk to you soon.